What if you had an actual instruction manual for your own mind? And I don't mean some modern self-help book, but a guide written 2,000 years ago that is, somehow, more relevant than ever. Today, we're cracking open an ancient text that's basically a toolkit for our messy, chaotic inner worlds. Let's dive in and see what it has to teach us.
But first, let me ask you this. Does your mind ever feel, well, like a leaky house? Where any passing worry or random distraction can just seep in through the cracks and make everything feel damp and chaotic. It's a super common feeling, and man, is it frustrating.
Well, the key to fixing that leaky roof might not be in a new meditation app or some bestseller. Nope, it might be right here, in a 2,000-year-old text. This is the Sutra of the Seven Places, and it lays out a surprisingly clear blueprint for how to patch up the holes and reinforce our own minds.
All right, so first up, let's reframe what this text actually is. We're not looking at this as some ancient, dusty scripture. Think of it as a hands-on instruction manual for your own consciousness.
That's right. This has nothing to do with abstract ideas or beliefs you have to just accept. This sutra is incredibly practical. It's a toolkit designed to help you look at your own experience with total clarity, kind of like a mechanic running a diagnostic on an engine.
So, what's the first tool in this manual? It's a method for deconstruction. It teaches us how to take a big, messy feeling and just break it down to see what it's really made of.
The very first step, according to this text, is to stop seeing our emotions as these giant, solid things like anxiety or anger. Instead, we need to break them down into their basic building blocks. It's all about shifting from being overwhelmed by the wave to becoming an observer of the water. So the sutra says that any given moment of your experience is made of 5 basic parts. First, there's form. That's just your body and the physical stuff around you. Then, a raw feeling pops up. Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or just kind of neutral? It's just a raw sensation. Next, perception jumps in. This is your mind slapping a label on it, like good, bad, scary. After that comes our mental formations. These are our reactions, our habits, the stories we tell ourselves about the feeling. And finally, there's just plain old consciousness, the basic awareness that's experiencing this whole show. These 5 things are happening constantly.
So once you can spot those 5 building blocks in real time, you apply this 7-step analysis. This is what the 7 places in the title is all about. For any strong feeling that's got a hold on you, you run it through this checklist. What is this, really? Where did it come from? Can it actually go away? If so, how? What's the secret part of me that likes this feeling? What's the real damage it's doing? And finally, what's the genuine path to get free from it? And here's the kicker. This is not just some intellectual exercise. It's a systematic, repeatable process for figuring yourself out. It's a map that shows you exactly where your suffering is coming from and highlights the clear path leading out of it.
Now, this analytical method isn't just for taking things apart. It's really for building something stronger. And that brings us to this amazing metaphor the text uses, the idea of guarding your inner house. Hey, remember that leaky house from the beginning? Well, it turns out the sutra uses that exact same analogy. It asks us to take a good, hard look at our own minds and ask, is this a well-maintained shelter or is it a rundown shack, totally open to the storms of life? And here are the 2 options it lays out. On the left, you've got the leaky house, the unguarded mind. When we're not paying attention, the rain of negativity and distraction just seeps right in, causing everything inside to rot. But on the right, that's the goal, the sheltered house. This isn't about walling yourself off from the world. It's about being mindful and intentional about what you let inside. That's how you build a stable foundation for a good life. The text is incredibly blunt about this. It just comes right out and says that the work of guarding the mind is how we cut off suffering at its very root. It's not about just managing the symptoms. It's about fixing the fundamental problem. Okay, so we've got a method for analysis and a powerful metaphor for mindfulness. Next, the sutra offers another brilliant concept, that to really navigate the world well, you need to cultivate the right kind of vision.
I mean, think about it for a second. Is being successful just about hitting your goals and getting stuff? Or is there another kind of sight, an inner sight, that's maybe even more important?
The sutra explains this with a really simple analogy. It talks about the one-eyed person. This is someone who is a rock star at worldly success. They're great at their career, they achieve their goals, but they lack that inner ethical vision. They're literally only seeing half the picture.
So the ideal, of course, is to become the 2-eyed person. This is someone who has both. They're effective and skilled in their day-to-day life, but they also cultivate wisdom and compassion, and they really understand their inner world. They see the whole picture, and that integration is the real key to a truly successful life. Now, beyond these big frameworks, the Sutra's also just packed with these super direct, practical lists for daily life, timeless advice on just how to live well.
Seriously, these are like little cheat sheets for living a harmonious and ethical life, and you could have written them yesterday. Let's just look at a few.
I mean, check out how direct this is. You want harmony with the people around you? Boom. Try generosity, kind speech, helpful actions, and finding common ground. You want a good life for yourself? Seek out good people. Actually listen to them. Have a clear and worthy goal, and understand that your past actions matter. And that last one, wow. The two rarest people in the world are the one who initiates an act of kindness and the one who is truly grateful for it. That's something to think about.
And what's so important here is that these aren't commandments. They're not rules from on high. They are simply observations of cause and effect. The text is basically saying, hey, if you do this, this is probably what's going to happen. It's an incredibly empowering and pragmatic way to look at living a good life.
And this really just ties it all together, doesn't it? The entire point of this manual, from the 7-step analysis to the practical life advice, is to give you a method to understand your own mind so deeply that you can find real, lasting freedom.
So, if you only take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. The Sutra of the 7 Places is not asking you to believe in anything. It's asking you to learn a skill, the skill of clear seeing, the skill of taking your own experience, putting it on the workbench, and looking at it with courage and wisdom until you finally understand how it all works. The instructions have been sitting here for 2,000 years. The toolkit is right in front of us. It offers a clear path from a leaky, rotten house to a strong, sheltered one. From being one-eyed to seeing with 2 clear eyes. So the final question really isn't about the manual at all. It's about us. Are we willing to do the work,